Hello, everybody. Good evening, everyone. I am Madalena. So in the name of the Logosophy Foundation here in Hollywood, Florida, I want to welcome everyone. Thank you so very much for accepting our invitation and being with us in this beautiful Wednesday evening. I want to thank everybody who is here present in the center with us, and also thank everybody that is connected on the internet, as we are broadcasting from Zoom and from YouTube. I want to thank everybody who is here present in the center with us, Isabella and Ferreira. Also thank everybody that is connected on the internet, a beautiful state in Brazil, in Cuba, Santa Catarina. I want to thank everybody who is here present, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day here. And also thank everybody that is connected on the internet, a beautiful state in Brazil, in Cuba, Santa Catarina. I just want to thank everybody thank you. And I those who are on the Zoom, the microphone is not going to work, so if you want to write anything, you have any questions, you can use the chat, and later on you can do that. And I those who are
Right. Good evening, everybody. Hi. My name is Isabella. I'm very grateful to be here for this opportunity. As you can see, I'm very young, so I'm not a professional speaker. I'm here just to tell you a little bit about my experience through this study, Logosophy. And we are online with YouTube and Zoom, so we have a lot of people here too. Hi, everybody. Welcome.
Who's connected, do we know?
We have Elisa from Florianopolis. We have Barbara.
Barbara from Boston.
Yes.
Barbara.
Yeah.
Boston.
Barbara,
Yeah.
good one.
And on YouTube, we have a lot of people that I can't really say how many, but I think at the end of the meeting we will tell you. Yes, yes. So I came to Miami on vacation, and I thought, why not visit this school here and tell people a little bit of what I've been learning. So when I first arrived here and I saw all of you, people coming, new people, so welcome. I felt very happy with this opportunity. I was a bit nervous. I am still, but I think during the meeting I will be more comfortable by speaking to you. But I'm very glad you came. So welcome again. So let's talk about knowledge that transforms life. Well, that's the invitation. I'm sure you've all seen it. And let's start about telling what Logosophy is about. So I have a little slide like that. So Logosophy is a science. It was created in 1930 by the Argentinian humanist González Pecotides, Mr. in the photo right there. In his last book, published in 1963, the author started just like this. Why does the present culture, be it Occidental or Oriental, display unmistakable signs of decadence? The answer to our question is clear and simple. The present culture fails at its very base. It's in the book Initiation Course into Logosophy. So Logosophy is the science created to help mankind to change this decadence. Through an original method of study, it leads its students to the knowledge of these three things. His inner self. Why isn't it? Oh, there you go. So it helps us through these three areas. His inner self, the mental world which surrounds and interpenetrates him, exercising a powerful influence upon his life, and the author of creation and his laws. So today, during this lecture, we will try to show you how the logosophical wisdom has been teaching us the way to this first topic, his inner self, how it has been transforming life. Okay? So knowledge that transforms life. When I first started to write about this, I thought, what do I want to tell you? What can I tell you about this knowledge? What do you expect to hear? What can I share from my experience? So I'll talk about the results I've been having through this study and the changes that have been transforming my life. So have you ever thought about that? Knowledge that transforms life? What knowledge transforms life? Professionally, if we want to become a doctor, I have a doctor picture, should be there. Yeah. If you want to become a doctor, we study medicine, right? If we want to become a lawyer, we go to law school. Are there any lawyers here? Yes? Any doctors? No? If we want to study architecture, we go be an architect, we go to... Anybody?
Yes.
Yes? Wonderful. And if I want to transform myself into a better human being, what do I study? I have that. So I will now bring some knowledge that has been transforming life to this question. So some knowledge that has been helping me is something about the defects. Do you know any defects? Intolerance, impatience, vanity?
I have none of those.
You have none of those? Oh, great. Me neither.
Nobody this one.
Nobody, right. So something about the defects. I thought that what we commonly call defects was part of me, so part of my psychology. I was born with that, and people should get used to me the way I am, right? Or wrong? What do you think? Right.
That's what they say.
That's what they
If
say,
you
right?
accept yourself,
Yeah.
is the more important.
Exactly. But I didn't accept myself with that defect, those defects I had. So I had to change, right? And so I didn't stop to think a little about that. I didn't think about it. I just lived. So I fought with my family. I fought with my boyfriend. I was very intolerant with many problems I had. And sometimes I put my life inside my problem and not the problem inside my life. So that made me feel very uncomfortable with some situations I experienced. Does any of these things happen to you? Yeah? So that's a picture of my family. My mom is the tallest one. I am this little girl on the right side, still with the glasses. And my sister is in yellow t-shirt, and the other people are a very, very dear family to me. So my family has been a student of this science for some years, this Logosophy science. And since I was a child, I heard about that. I'm pretty sure you know, some of you know this. And I even studied in a school with this pedagogy, the Logosophical pedagogy. And I had a lot of contact then. So Logosophy all the time since I was a kid. And in this photo, I chose this photo because on that night, my mother and the mother of these friends, one of them is even online here with us, they were in Imbituba, my city, for the first interest people in Logosophy in 1993. That's when this picture was taken, 1994, sorry. But when I grew up, I grew apart from it. I didn't want to hear anything about Logosophy because I thought I knew everything about it, and I didn't want any contact with that. And I was a very teenage girl, so I didn't want to hear about it. But the results I saw in the life of people who studied that science were undeniable. So I chose that word to the results because I felt very good when I went to that school. So that was one of the results. I didn't want to hear about it, but I felt good when I went there. The other result was that people were always smiling there. And I found it very intriguing, very interesting. How come? How can people be so happy? How does that work? And the third result was that the life I had lived up to that time had been very structured. And my family had always said to me that I had always attributed this to that study they did. So I was a teenager, I was sulky, I had to give it a credit. And it was with these reflections that a little voice came in my mind and said, go to a meeting just to see. Maybe there's something interesting. Maybe you'll like it. And maybe that can help you to be a better person. And then I started to study. I didn't tell anything to my parents, of course. And I started the information, the course of information. And then I just said to Mom, hey, I'm studying Logosophy. And she was like, what? That was very surprising for them. Well, and that's what made me stay. So that was back in 2010. And the results have been so good from back to now that I'm staying. I'm here. So I'm here now. And I found that so original. Where else can I sit, have a notebook, physical or a notebook like that, study, write about me, about what I observe in myself, reflect, come to meetings, talk to people about what I've been discovering. That's very original. I don't know anywhere else where I can do all that. And I imagine that we have professionals from different areas here, right? We have architects, lawyers. I'm pretty sure there are different areas here. I chose administration, business school to study. And I've always done a parallel between administration of corporations and Logosophy, administration of life. And I remember that from the beginning of college, every teacher I had used to tell me that a good manager knows himself. So a good manager knows himself, so he knows everybody that he's running on that company, on that corporation. But I wondered how do I do that? Because my teachers used to tell me you have to know yourself, but how? And I didn't know how. And so many humanists have told us that, right? Even Socrates did tell that. But we don't know how. I didn't know how. And that's when I realized that what Logosophy was presenting to mankind, a how-to, a method. So that's another word, the method. Logosophy has an original method to know ourselves. And this original method requires of me two things, study and experimentation. So I need to study from the books and try this in my life, see if it works. Because if it doesn't work, I don't have to use it. So I always felt very comfortable with that too. I didn't have to believe in anything. I had to try it on my life and see if it worked. And then with the application of this method, I started to have a lot of discoveries, as I told you. And I started to fight less with people I like best, which was something very important to me. And verbal tense here is important. When I referred to the state I was in when I first started to meet Logosophy, I used past tense, but that does not mean that I knew Logosophy and everything is okay by now. It's not to take a medicine and things will be wonderful once I open a book. That's not how it works, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not a self-help study, as anybody can ask us. However, this study has brought me some good helps, really good helps. This awakening, this word I like, awakening to a more conscious life. It will be there soon. Let's wait. What's going on? There it is. The awakening. So I started to awake, put on a new pair of glasses, not these ones, but a new pair of glasses and see new things, see a different part of me, like this inner part, this inner world. Sometimes I say that, oh, the day has already ended. It's already the end of the year. Do you say that sometimes? Yeah? All right. Sorry? Every day, right? I was on vacation and I said to my boyfriend, oh, it's already done. I mean, the vacation will be over soon. Why? Why do we say that?
Because life going so fast.
Yes, but why do life go so far? Not so fast. Why?
Because we're busy.
We're
We're not busy, maybe far more slow.
Yes, you're right.
Because we wasted. And
Because
we
we
wasted it. Recognize the rules. We're programming our life, but the life gone this far.
You're right. That's it.
You cannot believe it, but we are in November already.
Yes, right. We are November already. So this awakening to a more conscious life has been catching up with me, and it's been so wonderful because I was able to add consciousness to life, to put on this new pair of glasses, as I was telling you, and see many things that I didn't see. So something very interesting that Logosophy has brought me was this revision of concepts. It's a new theme that made me put this new pair of glasses to discover new things. And one of those concepts that I've been reviewing was this from the defects, the imperfections, what the author calls the psychological deficiencies. So there's even a book about that. Psychological deficiencies. And I may be, so what is that? Why does he call it like that, psychological deficiencies? Because he says that I can be deficient in so many things. I can be deficient in patience, so I lack patience, so I'm impatient. I can be deficient in tolerance, so I lack tolerance, I'm intolerant. And, well, willpower. I am so deficient in willpower sometimes, it's very hard. But I'm pretty sure you know all of these. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with that. But do I really know what they are inside me? Have I ever took time to write down, I have this one, I have that one? This book is a very good exercise to do if you want to try and read it. I'm pretty sure all of you have seen it, but it's a very good book. So, as I said in the beginning, I thought, what do I want to tell these people that will be there? They are online. We have a lot of people online. So with these questions, I discovered that because these defects were so long in my psychology, I thought I was like that and I didn't have to change. I thought people had to get used to me. And here, the author says something very important. With them, the being appears to be complete. And I would say that sometimes one feels comfortable with such signs of change. It is natural to think that as long as he cannot conceive of the value that each lost fragment possesses, that deficiency is part of his psychology, and therefore he should not worry about eliminating it. Oh, I didn't know that I lost a fragment. It's very hard to understand. I didn't know I had lost a fragment, and that this fragment has been completed. Hi, welcome. With this psychological imperfection that Logosophy calls deficiency. And when I was younger, in the teenage years, I saw many friends saying, I am who I am. People has to understand me. When I was a teenager, I thought it was beautiful to say. So I told Mom, you have to accept me the way I am. And I tell my friends, and I used to tell everybody that I was like that, and I didn't have to change. There are songs about that, books. Anyway, a lot of things about that. And I thought those who said that seemed strong, confident. I admired people who said that. And then sometimes I said it too. And is this the only way to better relate to people? People have to understand me. And that's it. Does the other have to understand me always? I'm like that, and that's it? But as I went through adolescence and reached my youth, I saw the people who lived saying this, they kept having the same problems. They kept fighting with the people they liked most. Life wasn't transforming itself, wasn't changing. Things were just going on. Life was passing by. And I put myself in that group of people. I thought that I was impatient with many things, but I didn't do anything to change. It was never on me. It was never my fault. It was the government, my friends,
The rest of the world.
the rest of the world, my parents, anything but me, ever. And if I had a hard time with people, if I couldn't be better, the other had to be better. The other had to be tolerant with me, not me. So to be complete, to be complete, is that being complete? To have qualities and defects is to be complete?
A couple maybe. No.
How can I be complete if I lack so many things? If I lack tolerance, affability, kindness, how can I be complete? So keeping myself in the practical sphere, here I did a lot of reflections. In Logosophy, everything has to be tried, as I said in the beginning of the lecture. Otherwise, it's only a theory. So going back to my studies, I've been asking myself those questions, and I would write it down, bring it to meetings, go home, write again, study again. And I observed something very important. I told myself I have to experience all this. So I started to observe. And I observed something important. I have a family member. I have two sisters and my parents. So we have 3 girls. And I have one of these sisters that is very patient. She's really patient. And especially to teach something to others. So technology to the elders, for example, she's very patient. And that's not very common in the young people, because we're always running. We don't have time to explain things to our parents, to our grandparents. We just say, yeah, go ahead, try to learn. And this sister of mine, she's very patient. And I started to observe her, and I thought, I lack that patience. I'm not like that. Can you be very quiet, gentle to everybody all the time? No, right? I can't. Not yet, at least. So for observing this family member of mine, this sister, I discovered something very important. She has a little piece that I don't. She has something I miss to complete myself. So this image of the puzzle helped me to understand better what I was seeing there. She was completing me, this sister of mine. She had something I didn't have. And then in my research work, I came across this part in the book. What is happening is what has always happened during all the critical moments in human history, is that man has been unable to find himself and has even been less able to complement his life with that which he lacked. This is why the human being is called an imperfect entity, because he needs to perfect himself, that is, to achieve his completeness, since man is nothing more than a fragment of a figure that requires to be completed. This happens to everyone, whether rich or poor, ugly or beautiful. Some possess what others lack, and what lacks in some, others possess, and this goes on successively. Some have what others lack. She has something I lack. So how can I do to complete myself? And one more discovery, spending time with her, observing her, seeing how she does, watching her. So the way to complete my image, complete myself, is to spend time with people, but a generous time, to observe what they have, the good parts they have, so I can complete myself. So I can say with conviction that that has changed my life a lot. Every person I live is actually a gift, because each one of them has something I don't. Okay, so after that, everything is beautiful, right? Easy. To spend time with people, I love it. It's very easy. I will complete myself. I will be with my sisters who I love. I really do, but sometimes it's hard. Do you think it's easy just because I have this knowledge? Of course not. I didn't go around hugging everybody. It's not like that. What is easier to see? The qualities or the defects on other people?
The defects.
Right?
It's more easy.
Of course. Yeah. That's why it wasn't like hugging everybody once I discovered that. Because it's hard to see the good part. Right? In your work, when you're working, when does people call to complain?
Always.
When do they call to say, hi, I just wanted to say you're doing great. Right? They don't. So that's the hard part. To try to see in me, how can I see the good part in other people? Because the bad part, it's easy to see, right? So that question also helped me. Is it easy to look at myself and see what really needs to change? In the other, it's very easy. But in myself, my imperfections, that hurts a little, right? I have a friend that says that it's beautiful to say I'm impatient. It's okay, but to say I'm vain, to say I'm selfish, it's very ugly, right? We don't say that very often. Do you know why it's not easy? I discovered something. Because these imperfections were so long ago in our psychology, they don't want to leave. They want to stay there. They're comfortable in there. And if we want to put them away, they say, I'll stay right here. I'm very comfortable being like that. Right? So how do we do this? How do we extract from coexistence with others the elements that are missing to complete us? How? And I'll tell you a big secret now. There's no magic. I need to do an effort. So that's the effort I have been doing, and I wanted to tell you about. It's a big effort, and I'm very young, so I have a long path. There are a lot of much more experienced students here, and they can tell you after the lecture all the effort they have been doing, but it's a big one. So to see my virtues, my defects, it's not easy. But I can guarantee you something very important. This choice, the choice to awake to a more conscious life, it's wonderful. It's really wonderful. It's very special. Isn't that what we're here for? To give life a content? to give life a bigger size, a meaning, a purpose. Isn't that what we're here for? Not to work every day, right? Wake up, go to work, come home, watch TV, watch Facebook, go to sleep. I have Instagram, Facebook, all of that. Is that why I'm here? I like it, but that's not why I'm here. To complete myself, this image of the puzzle again, to complete myself. That's why I'm here. Right? Very well, dear guests. I think we're pretty much on time. Yeah? Yeah, we're almost there. What a joy to see that you came. You're here. Thank you so much. This was very, for me, it was, how do I say superação? Overcome, because it was hard for me to be here, to talk English, speak English. I'm not an English speaker, but
you did very well.
Thank you. Thank you. Great. And as we brought this science offers us much knowledge to transform life. But the greatest opportunity that this science offers, the biggest one, is for you to study in the same source that I have studied to do this lecture. So the whole source, philosophical source, is in there, is available. You can download it online. You can go to website. It's logosophy.info, right? You can download it. There are books in here. You can talk to people who study. But that's the biggest opportunity. I mean, to come to an open lecture about knowledge that transforms life is a good opportunity. But transform life itself, we need to do an effort. We need to do something. So I invite you to know all these books, all these knowledge. And here I'll show you something about the classes, right, Madalena? There are some information classes on Logosophy. You can take it in person or online, whatever it's easier. So there are the informations to apply. There's an email. There's a Facebook as well. You can write it. It's individual. It's from 4 to 5 weeks, and it's free of charge. So if you just want to know a little bit more about Logosophy. And once again, I would like to thank you so much for your presence.
Very well.
Thank you. Thank you, Isabella.
Good night.
I want to add something.
Please.
It came to my attention that you say that we need to transform ourselves. When I became a student in Logosophy, that was in 1990 something. The past century. I will start reading the books. And I always watch a book called Deficiencies of the Human Being. I said, I don't need to read that book because I don't have any deficiencies. So I need to read that. So I kept it in place, Once I had a misunderstanding with my son at home, and my conscience says something was wrong. I did a big mistake. At that night, I started to read Deficiencies of the Human Being. There is like 42 or 45 deficiencies, but they're all names in the book. I find in myself like 18. And after that, I realized what a deficiency is. I want you to realize that I have it and try to get rid of it. That's what I want to do.
Thank you. Thank you so
You're
much.
18. You lucky guy.
Lucky guy.
And the propensities
I
also.
didn't read the whole book.
And everything.
You stop it.
You stopped at the 18th.
It's enough.
Okay.
If I may add a word of
Sure.
encouragement for you, because you're, like you said, you're young. It's good that you know what you know at your age.
Mhm.
But the older you get, those deficiencies are anchored even deeper and deeper, and they're harder to deal with when you get older because you've been at it for so many years. So at a young age, to know what you know is a big compliment.
Great.
So the day after, I brought my son and I said to him, first time in my life, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. You were right. That was the first time. That was nice.
Those knowledge transform life,
Knowledge.
right? Okay, so thank you so much. Have a good night.
Thank everyone.
Thank you.
Thank everybody online.
Thank you. Online.
Thanks for your presence. Good night, everyone. Thank you, Isabella.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye. Okay. Como é que faz pra...
You have to